Hello everybody. So a little bit of a tradition I might start for the channel. At the end of every year, I might just quickly run through my 10 favourite opals for the year, or at least my current top 10 favourites, which changes on a daily basis, but just recapping this year, I think these are my top 10. Number 1, this is one of the first pieces I ever played with. So it's a painted lady, so you can see here if we zoom in a bit, it's not high quality. You can see there's a bit of colour here, and I haven't done a very good job polishing it. So have a look at all that pitting. I didn't have the Nova tips back then, and this was just done basically with sandpaper wrapped around my finger, and I'd just be going like this. And even though this wasn't done this year, it's still just scraping into my top 10 favourites. I do like the painted lady stuff. I should try to find a source of getting more. I did have someone, but they'd moved away, so it's hard to get a hold of, but I'll have a hunt around and have a look. It was fun to play with right at the beginning, because, I mean, it wasn't ever really high quality, and now that I've got a Dremel and everything, I could probably make a bit more of a carving out of a lot of this kind of stuff. I've seen some amazing painted lady stuff, so this is number 10. Then if I go to number 9, we've got the first time Boulder appears, and I will just, spoiler alert, Boulder does appear a few more times still. This was the first piece that actually got me really interested in Boulder. I just found it so mesmerizing. It was the first profile picture for the YouTube channel, so it's still got a bit of importance linked to the channel in it. If I zoom in even further, it's hard to just be able to see exactly what it is about this piece. It has a really nice polish, but it's just got this nice swirly pattern. It's got the blues and greens, my favourite colours in opal. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a meaningful piece, and not of high value, but it does look cool, and I can just sit there playing with it for ages. So now we're getting into a couple that have appeared on the channel. So this one's still not finished. I'm actually going to probably finish it in the next week or so. And this is that laser style, just layered pattern of opal on Boulder. It's got all the colours, and it's just a nice pattern, and I've really come to, this one's really growing on me. So definitely deserves a good solid finish. So maybe before the end of the year, definitely I should be able to get onto this and just work out the last few small little kinks and give it a polish so that it looks like this without needing any water. Jumping forward to the next one, the fish. The little Nick Hoops Boulder Opal blue fish. I don't know, I just love this piece for some reason. It's the start of the fish collection, and it'll get a few more friends over time. I might try to do some more decorative, ornate kind of fishes. I do like these little fish, and it's got the nice wavy patterns, and it's got a nice smattering of multicolour just in that bottom edge, which I'm a huge fan of. So now we're moving into some Black Opal Direct pieces. Now this one is a really cool piece just because of the pattern. So I did this by hand on, it was either whetstone or sandpaper. And if I can just grab a little torch, maybe we can set this up. There, you can start to see it there. There's a nice little inclusion. I might have to try to pop up a picture instead, but there's a nice inclusion of this dark, menacing tree landscape. It's, I don't know, I loved it when I first came across it. It's not a very high quality opal or anything like that. It does have this sun flash over the potch of blue. If I can get it, yeah, there's the flashing purple blue. So that goes across the surface. It takes quite a bit of light to get it going, but it's definitely there. It's relatively well shaped. I could dome it a little bit better, but for doing it by hand on sandpaper or whetstones, this is a tough task to get it beautifully well shaped, and I didn't want to start losing any of that tree. So then moving on, we've got, oh, he actually likes to be in water, a little Black Opal Direct frog. Still haven't given it a name. It'll just remain nameless for now. But yeah, cute little frog carving. The first time I've tried to actually carve an animal out of a piece, and it went alright. Bit of a cartoony frog. Could have done the legs a bit better and the feet a bit better. Who knows, I could still change it. I probably won't. I'd like to keep it as it is. But yeah, nice little frog. Beautiful little pattern. And it was just a big big piece of potch out of the Black Oak Direct beginner's parcel. There wasn't a lot in that parcel, so you've got to kind of make your own fun out of it, and yeah, carving a big piece like this into something for a bit of practice is a good way to go. Now we're moving up into the more gemmier kind of materials that I like more for their colour than anything else. So here is example 1. It's a nice Cooper Petey, it's got all the colours, it's a really weird shape. There was a huge sand, this was actually carved on the channel, there's huge sand inclusion just in here that I cleared out. Practicing clearing out little inclusions like that with the Dremel. And I love this piece, it's got absolute amazing colour. Maybe one day I might even cut off that end, cut this down the middle and make a pair of earrings out of this, because it's incredible amount of colour. It's not overly crystalline, so you can't see my fingers too much behind it. You can see a slight change, but that's more towards the thin end. So it's definitely a piece that I could actually recut and use in some sort of jewellery. And it's just a really magnificent piece in terms of colour. It's just a unconventional shape is the only thing that brings it down. But I could recut that and actually turn it into something if I really wanted to. At the moment, I like to think it's an alien tooth. So moving on to the next piece. Beautiful piece of belemnite, but unfortunately it had a fair bit of sand along one edge. So I had to carve it and cut it back. And instead I turned it into this little barrel shape kind of thing. And it's got amazing blue greens on top. But if you notice, I'll try to get my fingers out of the way. It has this red glow. So this red glow, this amber glow appears throughout the whole piece. And it's really nice. It just, yeah, it's not something that I've seen a lot of before. It's kind of like amber potch, but with a whole heap of colour on top. This is a really nice piece, and I carved this on the channel as well pretty early on. In second place, you've seen this one on the channel. This was from a Royce Deverwold rough parcel. There's a pendant and an accompanying piece that came off the bottom here. And it's actually got a second colour bar, so this piece may not be done yet. That second colour bar we've already tested using that cutoff, and it was really, really nice. Almost as nice as the front. But this has been a really great piece for me to run to the camera shops, and I've been testing cameras with it, and I've been testing lighting with it. Because it's such a hard piece to get looking correct. And you can see here, it really emphasizes the reds on this side, so I like to see what the reds do on each camera and each light. Then on this side, you get your cool colors. So the blues and greens. This is the best test piece I have for when it comes to testing out camera quality and lighting quality. And then it's not even directional, so from the front, it basically evens out and balances between the two. The red is there, the green and blues are there. It's just an amazing piece. This will one day become a really nice pendant. So yeah, I'm not overly worried about making it double-sided. I might pull up short of that colour bar and keep it nice and thick and give it a good setting. But this will be one that I hold on to for quite a while, and once I'm comfortable with making pendants, because this one will probably be set properly rather than wire wrapped. I wouldn't have confidence in wire wrapping this one. I want to actually set it and it'll become a really good piece, but for now I use it to test lighting and cameras because I'm still looking to upgrade for the channel. The lighting I've got pretty much on point. I'd like a couple more lights around me just to get rid of the shadows that you can see like this. So yeah, this piece just gets chucked in my pocket and I wander down to the shops and I check out some lighting and I check out cameras. So yeah, number 2, it's a highly useful piece. A functional piece of opal. Now, number 1 hasn't appeared on this channel yet, and it is a huge chunk of boulder. So I'll actually have to zoom out for this big boy. It's a huge piece of boulder. The underside's not overly exciting. It's like a yaourt nut on the back, but on the top it's just got this weird kind of translucent milky purple over here. It shifts over to this teal kind of colour and then goes into this dark blue, and all over here it just does it all again. So it's got this central blue spot and then it just fades out. But it's got this nice area here, and this is what made me really commit to buying this one. But here you can see that there's not a lot happening. there is actually some patches of red and whatnot in some of these cracks, like over here. So there is colour there, but what I've got an idea for this, I need one of those rotating platforms, but if I just grab something random, like this wire wrapped earring, I've got an idea of making it kind of like a platform to showcase a lot of pieces that I finish. So maybe even with an opal, if it's a nice small opal, I can sit it here, rotating platform, and just get it looking nice with this piece as a background, because it's a great specimen of boulder. I'm a huge fan. This is another one of those functional pieces. And you can probably see the trend in my top pieces. I don't really... like, I've got some nice black opals and stuff, but in terms of value, they would be much higher. In terms of functionality, I really am a huge fan of both this massive specimen of boulder and Roy Steverwald's pendant piece here. These two to me are my favourites because currently I'm really interested in unusual patterns. They might not be the highest value ever, but this one here in particular is incredibly useful. And it's that usefulness that gets that to second place. I mean, it does look really good as well. It's not a low value piece, but it is Cooper Pedy, so the black opals always trounce the Cooper Pedy. Very sad. But yeah, that's really it. That is my top 10. I'm hoping for another year, and maybe this top 10 will change completely. Maybe some of these guys will hang in and last another year in the top 10. You never know. And I'll quickly just give a quick update on this. So this is the Ethiopian opal that I was working on a little while ago. I've been trying to soak the oil out of it, and it is coming out. But the opal's not changing a lot. It's hard because I have to describe it, but this is still feeling really slick and slimy. It's less and less each time I change the water. But over the whole piece, it feels like there's still oil mixed with water just sitting there. And if I just touch the bottom of this container, this is slimy. So it takes about 2 days for the water to get slimy, but it's really slimy on the bottom. So the oil is slowly bleeding out of this. You can see that the colour is slowly fading away, so I think the water is getting in there and penetrating. So I'm going to let this keep going for another couple of weeks, I reckon, just to try to encourage more of it out, and then we'll let it dry, and then it'll pop back up on the channel. So stay tuned for that. And I'll keep monitoring this, and I'll bring it back on the channel when it's ready to continue on. So yeah, 2020 just about over. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the channel. It's only about 6 months old, bit over. So we'll see what the next year brings, and I look forward to doing a video like this every December.